Phoenix.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same-game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Your neighborhood Fry's Pharmacy is happy to welcome back Express Scripts Medicare D and TRICARE Department of Defense plan members. It's easy to transfer prescriptions at frysfood.com/payer update. See your Fry's Pharmacy for details.
You don't need lunch. You need a lunch miracle. You need Peter Piper Pizza's lunch buffet starting at $9.99. Think about it. A dozen people, 15 lunch ideas, and only an hour to eat? Lunch miracle to the rescue. Peter Piper Pizza's lunch buffet has fun and deliciousness served fresh. Choose from pizzas, pastas, salads, and desserts starting at $9.99 a person. The next time you need a lunchtime miracle on a weekday between 11 and 2, look no further. At Peter Piper Pizza, the fun is baked in.
The summertime savings are heating up at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale. Right now, you can lease a brand new 2025 Mazda CX-5 for just $319 a month plus tax for 36 months with just $29.99 down.
And we still have 1.9% financing on some of our most popular models like the 2025 Mazda CX-70 and CX-90. Go to markmazdascottsdale.com to check out our current selection of inventory, not affected by future tariff changes.
The name to remember, Mark Mazda, Mark Mazda.
If you know, you go. At Superstar Car Wash, we're proud to have over 550,000 members. Be in the know and try what everyone loves today. Text SuperAZ to 27800 to get 50% off our best wash. Terms and conditions apply.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix. It's the lunch break.
Salvaging the series finale yesterday, leading into a very important 9-game stretch for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And yes, we enter another day of Kevin Durant watch. And I'm not sure if we are closer to a conclusion or if this will drag on into next week. Welcome in. Happy Friday, the Friday edition of the Lunch Break. Chris Schubert with you here on KDUS AM 1060. We got producer Evan behind the glass. He's pushing all the buttons, taking your phone calls, 480-864-1060. Easy for me to say, the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. And we made another trip around the sun. We spun around another day, and we still are in the same spot when it comes to Kevin Durant. We'll give you the latest where things stand. Perhaps we're beginning to learn what is being offered by these teams. So we have all of that for you today here on the show. But we start with a baseball team that was able to salvage something yesterday and at least start this 9-game stretch on the right foot.
Time for our top story of the day. It's the Daily Special.
The Diamondbacks figured it out yesterday. The name of the game, score a lot of runs. Offense, offense, offense. That's it. You cannot rely on the starting pitching. You cannot rely on the bullpen. You have to score a ton of runs. That is exactly what the Diamondbacks did yesterday en route to salvaging the series finale against the Toronto Blue Jays. And it was mainly off of the bat of Eugenio Suarez, who has had a great start to the 2025 season. And there are no moral victories. You still lost a series that you could have won in Toronto. You're still just hovering around 500. We still have all of the same questions about this team. So we had yesterday and the day before and the week before that. But it was nice to see this team get a win the way that they did yesterday. It was also nice to see Ryan Nelson look good out there on the mound in a start for this team. We need all of the encouraging signs from this rotation as we can get. So we'll take any breadcrumbs that Ryan Nelson or Eduardo Rodriguez or Zac Gallen could potentially give us over the next couple of starts. And you saw one yesterday from Ryan Nelson who looked really, really impressive in the start. I think he's got a 3-2 record as a starter this season with a sub 3.5 ERA. He has just been really good. I know he had that one bad start. What was it, in Cincinnati, where he had a rough go of it, but he has been extremely solid. I'm not ready to put him in the same camp as we talk about Merrill Kelly as a consistent, reliable go-to starter. Although Ryan Nelson is knocking on the door. He is really, really close to being in that group, and it would just be those two. But really good to see a quality start from Nelson yesterday, giving the team a chance. We've used the word solid to describe. I would say Ryan Nelson yesterday was good, if not great.
That is above solid. You know, we use solid to describe Brandon Pfaadt's start to give them a chance to win. Ryan Nelson was great yesterday.
More than solid.
Gave them the chance to win, got them to win, right? So those are important to talk about when you look at Brandon Pfaadt's start compared to Ryan Nelson's. I don't think, you're comparing apples to oranges. One was fine. The other one was great.
And the Diamondbacks need more above average starts from their starters. They need length, as we have described many times here on the show, until they can get reinforcements, whatever that's going to look like. If they're going to continue to go the Anthony DeSclafani route and just pick up guys off of waivers from other teams and try to have some reclamation projects that they hope can turn into relievers, or if they're going to go out and trade for somebody, they're going to go out and acquire somebody via a trade. Until those reinforcements get here, and until those reinforcements are here and contributing and producing, this is going to fall on the offense to do more of what it did yesterday. And for a pitching staff that we have seen these starters, it is not out of character for Zac Gallen to give you 7 strong innings. It is not out of character for Brandon Pfaadt to give you 6 or 7 strong quality innings. These guys can carry that workload. We're not asking them to do something that they have never done before in their careers. We're just asking them to do it on a more consistent basis until these reinforcements come, because right now, you even saw it in the game yesterday. No lead is comfortable. Had to use Shelby Miller in the game yesterday because DeSclafani, who you brought in the game to try to just mop up some innings and not have to tax your bullpen and ask your high leverage, medium leverage arms to be thrusted into action, had it go. Needed to use Shelby Miller yesterday. So even in a win, even in a salvaging of the finale of the series, even in a game where you have all the positives of the offense being good, Ryan Nelson being good, you still have that one thing that went awry, that one thing that you nitpick at, because it's not just a small thing. Using Shelby Miller yesterday may compromise him for some point over the weekend. Using Shelby Miller yesterday, he's worked 2 of the last 3 days. So you might be able to go to him tonight. If you have a lead late and you're trying to close a small lead on the road in Colorado, sure, he should be able to work back-to-back days. But then that means he's not available on Saturday, and you have to try to win the game without him. And right now, with the way that this bullpen is currently constructed, and we're going to do this a little later on in the show, we're going to tier these relievers. We're going to create a little bit of a trust tree, trust circle for the bullpen of the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's really the only guy that I would label the word trust to, and it's not even like boldface capital letters. It's kind of italicized, and I'm not really sure. We play a Sharpie pen pencil. Trust is in pencil right now next to Shelby Miller, but you're not going to have him if he works tonight over the weekend, at least on Saturday. So now you have to try to find a way to navigate through a potential close game on Saturday without your go-to A reliever. So it snowballs. Using him yesterday could potentially put the Diamondbacks in a position to compromise themselves over the weekend, or if they just continue to score runs in bunches and they're going to an environment where scoring runs it comes with the territory of playing at Coors Field. Hopefully the offense can continue to be hot. They can carry some momentum from this performance into the weekend against Colorado, and they can put up some crooked numbers, and we don't have to worry about any of this. But it is a worry. It is something that I am greatly concerned about going into the weekend.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
We saw Murillo come in to finish the 6th. Any interest in seeing him come out for the 7th?
Now, I don't want to do the show before the show, right? I don't want to talk about how much I trust certain relievers. But the bucket I put Juan Murillo in may shock some members of the audience.
You're a fan.
I'm in. I am in on him right now being my number 2 high leverage reliever. Him and Jalen Beeks, I think, are sharing some company. Again, trust, pencil next to everybody if we're going to use that word right now. And I wouldn't, but I'm a fan of Murillo, and I hope to see him get some higher leverage opportunities here over the weekend in Colorado. So did that answer your question?
Yes, you would have liked to see him come out for the 7th.
Well, if you bring him out for another inning and you burn him probably for today, you burn him for maybe potentially 2 days, depending on the workload. I don't remember exactly how much he's worked in the last couple of days. He's been a heavily used reliever. All of them have been over the last couple of days. So Torey has a really tough job right now because not only does he have to manage the workload of all of these guys, but every night he rolls up to the ballpark, I don't know if he knows what pathway he is going to take to get the final 9, 12 outs that he needs to win a baseball game.
No, typically you have a roadmap of what your 7th, 8th, and 9th could look like on any given day a starter walks out to the mound. I really don't know if they have one.
I wouldn't blame him if they didn't.
And obviously they do, but I just don't think it's as clear cut as what it is for most teams. And I don't blame them. It's just the situation they're in.
I was thinking a lot about this yesterday after they had to use Shelby. And once again, the bullpen discourse came up as it's a day that ends in Y right now for this baseball team. And normally, as you mentioned, you have a plan, right? This is who I'm going to in the 7th, the 8th, the 9th. Before the game, manager, his coaches get together, and they map this out. They map out, okay, if our starter gives us this many innings, this is the plan. This many innings, that's the plan. And they know before the game where they'd like to go. Now, they're going to let the game come to them. They're going to determine what parts of the lineup they want certain relievers to face. They have a roadmap that they normally follow. I wonder if the roadmap is this simple right now for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I got to know who's available, and I'm going strictly numbers right now. I can't go with my gut because I don't trust my gut right now. Not because I've made mistakes, but because I don't trust anybody out there right now. So this needs to be a strictly mathematical thing. Okay, I've got 3 spots coming up in the lineup that do not handle lefties really well. Jalen Beeks, you're in there. You're the guy, 6th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning, you're my guy. I wonder if it just boils down to I'm just going to strictly go by the math. And I know that probably drives a lot of you crazy by going strictly with the numbers and not going with the gut. I just don't know how you can go with your gut and the feel of the game when every single night we have an incident where the bullpen shows you that you shouldn't go with your gut. Where the numbers are in front of you. They tell you a story. Boom, we're going to follow that story.
Yeah, what is there to go with your gut? The bullpen stinks. If I see 3 lefties, or 2 of 3 lefties, and I know they can't hit, I'm going, and they struggle same side, I'm going Beeks 100 times out of 100. I don't think that's a gut question. I think that's baseball. And that's what they have to do.
Yeah, if we've got a section of the lineup that struggles with velocity, Juan Murillo, you're my guy. You're going in. I'm boiling it down to the most simple things I can boil it down to try to make a decision on who I'm going to go to, because it's every night it's something that's happening. Every night something new is popping up for this bullpen to where if I'm Torey, I would be ripping my hair out in that dugout trying to figure out. The moment I take a lead, instead of being excited, the dread would come over me as a manager.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'd be going double barrel in the bullpen.
Yeah, I'd have
every time you go, and every time I would call the pitching coach, like, hey, who looks better? Like, who's out there? Who are you thinking looks better tonight? That's who we're going with.
And you can't do that because now you're burning these guys to warm them up. But you're saying that in jest, but it's kind of truthful. You just don't know what version of these guys you're going to get.
Like, if you get Beeks up and he didn't throw a strike in warm-ups, don't put him in the game.
It almost becomes, you have to just default back to what do the numbers in front of me tell me? Don't worry about the last 4 times out he did this, or last time out it was a mess. What do the numbers tell me about this spot? This spot calls for this reliever. Is this reliever available tonight? Yes, that's the guy I'm going to. Like, you almost have to make a flow chart. Just follow the flow chart. Whatever name it lands on, that's the guy that's warming up.
It's like the when people play blackjack and they have the card,
right?
Six, hit on 15.
Okay.
When dealer's showing
all
X.
Right. We're hitting on this card. We probably don't want. My gut tells me I don't want to, but you know what? We're just going to play strictly based on what the card tells us, because that's where we're at right now. Until reinforcements come, or until you get regular length from your starting pitching staff to where these guys aren't overworked and you have them more, you have your higher leverage guys more available. And that's the name of the game right now. The few high leverage relievers that the Diamondbacks have, if they have any, you can't use them every single night you have a lead. Just the way a 162 game baseball season works. Good to see the Diamondbacks pick up a win yesterday. Good to see them salvage the finale of this series, setting the tone into a really important 9-game stretch. We'll touch on it a little bit later on in the show about how many games we want to see this team win. And I think we've played this game in the past with stretches of the schedule, and we've looked at it through a very specific lens. I'm going to look at it through a different lens today, because I do think there's a number that this team needs to hit to make us feel confident that they are going to be in this thing at the end of July. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the show. When we come back, it is another day of KD Watch. What's the latest? And do we maybe now know what the holdup is? That's next on the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Hosier presents the Unreal Unearthed Tour 2025, live in Phoenix. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, October 7th. With special guest, Amble. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The #1 album, Unreal Unearthed, is available everywhere. For more, visit hosier.com.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat, because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, a medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Call QC Kinetics, 602-691-6641. That's 602-691-6641. 602-691-6641.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The summertime savings are heating up at Scottsdale Mitsubishi.
Right now, you can receive 0% APR for 36 months on a brand new 2025 Mitsubishi Outlander.
The name to remember, Scottsdale Mitsubishi. Scottsdale Mitsubishi, another Mark Auto Group dealership.
Jim Rome here with your Rome Report. Well, the number the Lakers' new owner threw at the Bus family, $10 billion, is a little jarring. The identity of the dude throwing down is not. He's Mark Walter, and he owns plenty of teams in this town already, including the LA Dodgers. And the fact that he's about to get control of the Lakers is exceptional news for the Lake Show and potentially bad news for every other team in the NBA. I say this because, contrary to popular opinion, there is way more to this dude than just showing up, throwing crazy money at it, and then attending the championship parade. He took the Dodgers, which were an absolute bleep show and embarrassment, and bankrupt under the McCourts, and rebuilt them into one of the best organizations in all of sports. The Lakers are a pretty well-run organization, but they're run like a family business because that's what they are or were. Not saying baseball and basketball are one and the same. I am saying that Walter and his group are the best thing that could have happened to the Lakers and the worst thing for anybody trying to beat the Lakers. I'm Jim Rome.
O'Reilly. You need parts? We got parts. Product availability? Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. Get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 brake rotors. Upgrade to Brake Best Select brake pads for $10 more, or upgrade to Brake Best Select Pro or import direct pads for just $20. Offer in-store only. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more this doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rash? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot, but you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Welcome back into the lunch break here on KDUS AM 1060. Hope you're having a great Friday. Producer Evan, you know what I did a couple of times this week and what I believe I'm going to do later tonight?
What's that?
I grilled this week a couple of times.
Oh, what'd you make?
Fired up the Blackstone that I have in the backyard.
Nice.
Put some steaks on there. Made some chicken the other night. Going back for some steaks tonight.
You ever do like smash burgers on the?
Have not done the smash burgers yet. See, in my house, I'm the one that eats beef the most.
Okay.
Everybody else in the house mainly likes chicken. My daughter will not eat a steak, will not eat a burger, not happening. It's got to be chicken. Fiance, she'll eat a steak if I make a steak. Doesn't really love burgers, so it's got to be steak. So I'm the one that eats burgers in the house. So if I'm making food just for myself,
when it's just you a burger, it's tough.
A couple weeks they're going away for something. So when they're away, I may break out the Blackstone, make a little smash burger for myself. Yeah, I might do that. But I want to hook all of you up for this weekend because if I'm grilling, I want y'all to be grilling. So how about this? A couple times throughout the show today, I'm in a giving mood today. It's been a long week, a lot going on. Still waiting for Kevin Durant to get traded. So before KD gets traded, how about we do some stuff here on the program? So we'll do it maybe a couple times. We'll start it here. Caller number 6, 480-864-1060. We're going to hook you up with a $50 gift card to Von Hansen's. Get your weekend started right. Perhaps you're breaking out the grill this weekend, or you were thinking about it. You were on the fence about using the grill. I've now given you a reason to do so. So 6th caller, 480-864-1060. We're going to hook you up with a $50 gift card to Von Hansen's. In the meantime, while producer Evan is busy working the phones, Kevin Durant watch continues. It enters another day. The leftovers is in about an hour when we thought that this deal would have been done by now. It is not. We still are in limbo. We're still not sure when this deal, yes, I will still say when this deal will get done. And maybe perhaps we're starting to learn or understand why there is a holdup, why we are here on a Friday and this deal still has not been completed. Because Brett Siegel, who does a great job over for Clutch Points, wrote a column this morning. And the column was kind of a state of the NBA. And obviously right now, other than the great Game 7 that's now going to happen in the NBA Finals, the big talking point is Kevin Durant. And so Siegel wrote his column this morning, Siegel Scoops, how Kevin Durant trade saga impacts the draft, free agency rumors. And embedded in this story is a little bit of information to tell us what's going on here and talking about the Rockets. I don't want to quote the whole story, but allow me to quote just a part of it. Quote, Jalen Green and the 10th pick in this year's draft present a clear opportunity for the Rockets to swing a deal. But the Suns have demanded more, sources said. Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason, and Reed Shepherd are among the young talents in Houston that Phoenix has expressed interest in. The Rockets have not been willing to part with any of the three to this point, end quote. So I take that paragraph and unpack it here a little bit because it says something without saying something, because he doesn't directly say that the Rockets have offered Jalen Green in the 10th pick. But he does say that it presents a clear opportunity to swing a deal, but the Suns have wanted more. The Suns have asked specifically about Smith, Eason, and Shepherd, and that the Rockets have not been willing to include any of those young players into this package. And so now you start to understand why there are reports out there that the Suns were making phone calls to other teams to see if anybody wanted Jabari Green. It's a reason why it has taken so long for this deal to get done, because Jalen Green in the 10th pick is very obviously going to fall short of what the Suns' expectations were for a Kevin Durant trade. And so that's why day after day after day has passed this week, and we have not gotten a deal reported. Day after day has gone by, and Kevin Durant still remains a member of the Phoenix Suns because the Suns are waiting for the Rockets to put Jabari Smith, to put Tari Eason, to put Reed Shepherd, to put one of those players into this deal. And if they did that, that would change the equation. That would change the Suns' eagerness and willingness to do a deal. This also is in line with the reporting that the Suns weren't very excited about the offers that they were getting from the three teams that KD was willing to go to, that being Houston, San Antonio, and Miami. All of it kind of fits together when you see this reporting that perhaps the Rockets are not including Smith, Eason, or Shepherd into this deal. So now we start to get a little bit more of an understanding of what the holdup is. I still fully expect this to get done. I still fully expect us to come in here, worst case scenario, Monday morning and open the show with a Kevin Durant trade. I do not foresee this lingering into the draft. I do not foresee this lingering past the draft. I think there is an urgency from everybody involved. The Suns, Kevin Durant, all of these teams, to not have this linger much further than the weekend. This stops all of these teams from pursuing their other offseason goals. This hinders the Suns' ability to get ready for the draft. Do they have the 10th pick or do they not have the 10th pick? Are they only picking at 29, or have they added additional capital from San Antonio or from Houston or from Miami? It's very hard to plan what you're going to target in the NBA draft if you don't know where you are picking. That is why I still believe that this is going to get done before we get to the draft, before we get to Monday. I am still of the belief that we could get something today, although before the leftovers doesn't feel very likely. But before Monday, my new prediction, Monday morning, we open the show, I press the daily special intro, and we're talking about Kevin Durant being a member of another team. Whether that is Houston, whether that is Miami, whether that is San Antonio, it's all going to depend on if these teams add that sweetener. You know what the Houston sweetener needs to be, and also the Heat were brought up. And the sweetener there is Khalil Ware. That is the player that the Suns want in these trade talks. And so far, Miami hasn't wanted to put him in there. But many of the people that Siegel talked to for his story pointed out the Heat are the team that they think is best positioned to do this, because all they have to do is include Ware and the deal is done. That is the one hurdle. So if they make that decision, if they make that choice, boom, the deal is done. KD is going to Miami.
You want to hear my new prediction?
I would love your new prediction.
This trade's not going to happen until like 2 hours before the draft.
So not only are you poo-pooing my prediction that we talk about this on Monday, you are saying we're going to talk about this on Monday, we're going to talk about this on Tuesday, and we're going to talk about this on Wednesday. You think we have 3
and then it won't
days.
be till after the show Wednesday he gets traded, so then we'll talk about it on Thursday.
So not only are we going to do more KD talk in this program, you're asking me to come up with new angles for the next 4 days worth of
And
shows.
I know it's not directly his fault, but I'm really starting to dislike Kevin Durant.
No, come on, you can't say it's not his fault. It's not Kevin Durant's fault. Kevin could have very easily made this more difficult for the Phoenix Suns.
No, he certainly could have.
He could have said, I'm only going to San Antonio. Then I don't know how the Suns get anything of value if he does that. He gave them 3 teams, 3 choices, 3 options. Way better than I think what everybody's worst fear was, is that he was going to say, I'm going to one team and one team only, and it really putting a first-time, first-year GM and an owner who's trying to be more involved really on their back foot and back them directly into a corner. He did not do that. He gave them 3 teams. Now, John's trolling a little bit. He says we're going to still be talking about Kevin Durant on Suns opening night. Not happening. I'm standing firm in my belief that Kevin Durant is getting traded this weekend. I am not wavering at all that KD is going to be on the opening night roster for the Phoenix Suns. Because, again, it all goes back to a point I made earlier this week. You cannot start the new chapter if you just keep everybody around, right? We play the drop from the movie. We play the quote all the time to be funny. But it would be true, and I'm going to play it again. If you just kept the roster basically the same.
We are same, but different, but still same.
Kevin Durant being on this roster, Bradley Beal still being on this roster, nothing is different. Nothing is actually changed. The change that you promised me, I don't think you understand what the definition of change is. I don't think you understand what that word means.
Now, Chris, there would be no change, but they would all be
alignment.
They would all be aligned.
You know what's an excellent point by you? Alignment off the charts if they just kept Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. I mean,
the alignment.
Just you couldn't get more aligned than a GM who was here last year, an owner who's been here for a couple of years, the same players that were a part of a team that couldn't make the play-in tournament, that were 10 games below 500, were trading Kevin Durant at the trade deadline, had to fire another head coach. Yeah, you couldn't get more aligned than that group.
I have a question for you. So John is always, this is more of a question for John, I guess. How many people on John's day-to-day is he telling Kevin Durant he's staying?
Right. Is it just us? Or
at work?
Right. Or
by the water fountain.
Are we the only recipients of this take, or is he sharing it with other people? It's a great point, because if he's just sharing it with us, I mean, we very much appreciate John, and we appreciate that he's sharing that bold of a take. It's given us a ton of content here on the program. But if he's only sharing it with us, he's not going to be able to spike the football as hard. If he's been telling everybody, he's telling us, he's telling family, he's telling friends, he's telling coworkers, he's in group chats talking about it, he's tweeting about it, he's making TikToks about it. Now you can spike the football even harder if it happens.
Was it Memorial Day and the whole family over in John's, Kevin Durant, I would buy a jersey. He's going to be a Sun next year. What was he telling people? Has he been pushing this to everybody? That's what I want to know.
He says all of my coworkers and family. He's been pushing this with everybody. So good. So I
stand on business.
I think this is, I'm surprised we haven't gone to this place yet. John is the epitome of
both feet on the ground, stand by what I said.
I mean,
I was queuing that up,
It is uncanny how much John right now.
Both feet on the ground, stand by what I said.
Unwavering confidence. You can throw whatever piece of information in front of John right now.
Both feet on the ground, stand by what I said.
Will not move off of his position. Not one bit. He is firmly in the camp that Kevin Durant's not going anywhere. Again, I still think he's going somewhere. I still think he's going to one of the 3 teams that he wants to go to. And I think it gets done before Monday. I think we start Monday's show and Kevin Durant is on another team. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've also got you over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. When we come back, the Arizona Diamondbacks, their bullpen, it has been an ongoing topic of conversation. So how much do we trust the arms down there in the bullpen? We'll do the work next. It's the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
Prepare for the Maximum Fun Tour. A day to remember.
Yellow Card. Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater, Saturday, October 25th. Special guests, The Wonder Years and Dinosaur Pile-Up. Tickets from $30. On sale now at livenation.com. A day to remember. Yellow Card, part of the American First Credit Union Concert Series.
Hi, I'm Kamiko, the founder of Miko's Hot Chicken. When we started our family restaurant, we were also raising a family. But let me tell you, it wasn't easy. Our Chase Inc. card was there to reward us on all of our business needs. Now we have a thriving location, and we're hungry for more.
With the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, you can earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase, so your business can go from here to possible. Chase for business. Make more with yours. Real business owners compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC. Subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
On the farm, the day begins early, like before the rooster crows, when the sun is still struggling to rise. We're up, milking our cows, feeding them a well-balanced meal, and making sure none wandered off to see if the grass was greener someplace else. We work hard so you can start your day the right way. Real milk from farm to fridge in 48 hours. Arizona dairy farmers don't wait to have morning coffee before we get started, because we know you need milk for yours.
Dedication. It's undeniably dairy. A message from the Arizona milk producers.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Serving in the military requires great sacrifices, not just for one's country, but also for one's family. Not surprisingly, divorce for soldiers is especially difficult, and it raises a number of challenges that are peculiar to military divorce, things such as deployments, relocation, retirement benefits. These issues can be complicated, and the lawyer you choose needs to be equipped to handle them. So if you're a soldier facing such challenges, go to CordellCordell.com.
This is Desert Diamond Casino, where the tables are hot to the touch, and there are jackpot-winning smiles all around. The spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, slots spinning winners every day, and an atmosphere sparkling with excitement. So get your shine on, light up the room, show us what it's all about. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Donna Autumn Nation.
Bet with your head, not over it. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Summertime savings are heating up at Mark Mazda in Scottsdale.
Right now, we have 1.9% financing on some of our most popular models, like the 2025 Mazda CX-70.
The name to remember? Mark Mazda. Mark Mazda. 36-month term on a pre-credit plus $998.
Now through July 15th at Whole Foods Market. Fire up grill season with hot savings on juicy summer fruit. The season's best veg and sizzle-ready proteins, like 25% off shrimp with Prime.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060, Chris Schubert with you. Buy or sell coming up in about 10 minutes from now. Shout out to Tony, who talked to producer Evan there in the last segment. Hooked him up with a gift card to Von Hanson's. We'll do another one in hour number 2 of the show. I want to create a trust tree for the Arizona Diamondbacks. I want to create for all of us, for us here on the show, for all of you listening, kind of a guide, a roadmap of the buckets that we want to put all of these relievers in, the ones we trust the most, the ones we want to see in those high leverage spots, and then the ones that we're like, hey, could we not put them in a close game with a lead? Don't really trust them in that spot. So we're going to do the work here. We're going to go through each of these relievers, and I think we need to decide what our tiers are. And I think tier number 1, the top tier, the top bucket, the top branch of the trust tree is those slam dunk, no doubt, any role, any spot, any time, any point of the game. This is my highest leverage reliever. This is a person, 6th inning in a tight game, I'll go to him. 9th inning, needing to shut the door. This is the guy that in the postseason, in those spots where it is the 7th inning and the top part of the order is coming up for the opposing team and you're holding on to a run game, you're going to that reliever. Who is that guy? That bucket is tier number 1. Now, nobody's going into that bucket from the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I was going to say, they don't have one.
We don't have somebody that falls into the tier 1 bucket, but that's the top branch. That's the top rung. The top rung belongs to those relievers. We don't have those relievers. We don't have anybody that falls into that bucket. So now we go into bucket number 2. And those are the next man up. Those are the emergency options for your tier 1. Solid, high leverage reliever, not your immediate go-to, but if somebody's injured or somebody needs a couple days off, this is a person that you're okay with slotting right in. So that's bucket number 2. And this is where I am incredibly comfortable putting Shelby Miller. Any objections to putting Shelby Miller as the top reliever in this bullpen and in the highest tier that we feel comfortable putting a reliever?
No.
So, tier 1, nobody. We don't have a tier 1 reliever on this team. Tier 2, Shelby Miller, and right now he's kind of towards the back of tier 2, almost into tier 3. What do we want to describe tier 3 as? How do we want to quantify tier 3? Because we've had 2 tiers. We've put one reliever in there, and just doing some quick math, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 more relievers to put into a bucket. Tier number 3, I want to put 2 guys in tier number 3. I want to put Jalen Beeks in tier number 3, and I want to put Juan Murillo in tier number 3. So those 2 guys, how do we want to classify this tier? What do we want to describe this tier as?
Upside.
Okay.
Could get 3 outs with no runs. You can use them in the 7th, 8th inning of a 2-run game.
Would rather have Shelby Miller in the game, but these guys, I'm not shaking in my boots if the door swings open and those are the guys coming out of the bullpen.
Up to, I feel good. That's what we'll call this bucket.
I feel good. Okay. So tier 1, the elite, we don't have an elite reliever. Tier 2, Shelby Miller, he goes in there. Tier 3, the I still feel good, Juan Murillo, Jalen Beeks. 3 tiers, 3 relievers. Tier 4, this is where the I don't feel so good. To quote Avengers, I believe it is Infinity War. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good, Spider-Man. I don't feel so good. The relievers where you start to get a little antsy. And those relievers for me, Ryan Thompson and Kyle Backus, I'm going to put into this tier right now, although he has been good since being called up. And you could make the case that he belongs into the I still feel good tier. I just want a bigger sample size. So I would put Thompson and Backus in this now 4th tier. Any objections? We're all good with that.
I'm all good with that.
Tier 5. This is the you can't be anywhere near a high leverage situation. And that's where Kevin Ginkel, Taylor Scott, and Anthony DeSclafani all go. So you see the problem that the Diamondbacks bullpen has right now. We don't have a tier 1 reliever. The tier 2 reliever isn't somebody who's supposed to be a tier 2 reliever. Shelby Miller, ideally, if this bullpen was set up correctly, is your tier 3. I still feel good about this, but not one of my top guys. In tier 3, I still feel good. Jalen Beeks, a specialist, but has been much more than that this season. And Juan Murillo, this is an upside play for me. I'm just a big believer in the stuff that he has, being able to throw at 100. I know he's got some command problems, but it's been better as of late. And then tier 4, where you start to worry. And then tier 5 is where you have Ginkel, where you have Scott, and where you have DeSclafani. Nowhere near a close game. Nowhere near a lead, a tie game, down a run, down 2 runs, trying to keep the game close. Those guys can't be anywhere near those spots. 3 of the team's relievers fall into that bucket. Hard to go out there and manage a baseball team if 3 of the relievers are basically no-go for high leverage spots or even medium leverage spots. Would you trust Kevin Ginkel in a medium leverage spot? Down 5-3 late, trying to keep the lead right where it's at. Do you trust him to keep that lead at 5-3?
No.
Do you trust Taylor Scott to keep the lead where it is? We saw this the other night. He came into a game for Eduardo Rodriguez. It was 2-1. It was a 1-run game. He got out of the 1 jam, couldn't get out of the 2nd jam. Put himself into a 2nd jam. Blue Jays blew the game open.
That's what he is.
So you've got 3 relievers that you can't trust. Just no-goes. Your next tier up is Ryan Thompson and Kyle Backus. Okay, yeah. More from Backus and he moves up. Thompson's had a couple of good outings, but also he's all over the meltdown meter. I was just all over it. He's all over that list. The next tier up, Beeks and Murillo. Beeks way more higher up the tier than Murillo. And then Shelby Miller. You understand why the Diamondbacks are a 500 baseball team right now? You understand why no lead is safe? You understand how important it was for Justin Martinez and AJ Puck to be a part of this bullpen? You've got 3 relievers right now that you can't use at all in a high leverage or a medium leverage spot. You have 2 relievers that you probably would go to right away in medium leverage spots, and it's a roll of the dice what they're going to give you. You then have the 3 arms, Murillo, Beeks, and Miller, that is going to be some combo of those 3 that's going to get you the high leverage outings. And even those 3 have shown some signs of faltering, specifically Shelby Miller the other night blowing that game in the 9th, being handed a 1-run lead and not being able to hold on to it. So hopefully this list now informs you while you're watching these games. And maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, but I know watching these games, based on the reliever that comes in, I know what tier we've just put them in, and I'm going to know what Torey Lovullo was saying about where he thinks this game is going to go. And again, I do not envy the job that he has to do every single night. It is an impossible job. He doesn't make it easy on himself. He makes some weird decisions sometimes, but it is almost impossible to have. You need 2 or 3 relievers every night you can always turn to. He doesn't have that. He maybe has 1. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. Close up hour number 1 here of the Friday edition of the show. It is buy or sell. Producer Evan has the takes, 5 of them. I am buying or selling those takes here on the other side. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Hey listeners, Vince DeLisio from the Varsity Sports Show. Tune in Saturday morning for another fun summertime event. We'll travel around the country and the world this week as we hear from some of our newest fall interns. Plus, my old friend Campo Verde Athletic Director Max Ragsdale checks in from a family vacation in Laughlin, Nevada. Start your weekend off with a smile with the Varsity Sports Show Saturday morning from 9 to 11 on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
Breaking Benjamin. And 3 Days Grace. Live. October 8th at Desert Diamond Arena with special guest Return to Dust. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Don't miss Breaking Benjamin and 3 Days Grace, presented by the Big Red Radio.
To everyone who believes a good meal can always be made even better, come try our new chicken sandwiches at Culver's.
We've taken our classic chicken sandwich and brought it to the next level. I'm talking bigger, juicier chicken with crispier, crunchier breading. And it's all served on a buttery brioche bun and topped with crisp dill pickles, creamy mayo, and fresh lettuce and tomato. Even better, you can make any sandwich your own with a few extra toppings. Throw on some real Wisconsin cheddar cheese, add thick cut bacon, or both. We'll make it fresh just for you, just the way you like it. Whether you go for crispy, spicy crispy, or grilled chicken, you're sure to enjoy your first bite and every bite after that. So are you ready to try our tasty take on a tried and true classic? We've got a table waiting with your name on it. From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Stars are shining down on Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle has more than 2,200 5-star Google reviews from across Arizona, like these.
They go that extra mile to let you know they care. A wonderful experience.
They treat their clients like family, and their professionalism is the best in the business.
They made sure I got a great offer. Like a bulldog, they fought for me.
Well said, everyone. After any accident, remember, the bird is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THE-EAGLE.com.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince DiAlicio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. here on KTUS AM 1060 and on the KTUS 1060 app.
Wrapping up hour number 1 here on the Friday edition of the show. Appreciate you joining us. Make sure you download the KTUS AM 1060 app so you can take us with you on the go. We wrap up hour number 1 of the show. A little buy or sell. Producer Evan has the takes. I'm either buying or selling those takes. Take it away, my friend.
Okay. The NBA Finals, going 7 games, has played a small part in why Kevin Durant hasn't been traded yet.
Oh, are you buying into this idea that the NBA has asked everybody to keep things under wraps a little bit here while the NBA Finals are going on? Is that what you're asking here?
Yes.
No, I'll sell this.
Sell it?
I think the Phoenix Suns are just looking to get the best offer. I think it's clear they are not getting offers that match what they're looking for. And so they are taking their time. You can't have a do-over once you submit the trade to the league office. You're committed to the trade that you agreed to. So you got to get this right. And I think they're erring on the side of caution and taking their time and holding out hope that they can get these offers to increase. I don't think they have a deal done already and they're just waiting for the NBA Finals to be over. No, I think this is still an ongoing negotiation.
Not even saying that they have a deal done and they're waiting for. I just think that possibly more teams get interested as the finals finish up. Building off that and trying to find the right offer, no, quote, bidding war will ever start for Kevin Durant.
No bidding war is going to start for Kevin Durant. I'll buy this. Do I think a team makes their offer better? I do. I do think at some point one of these 3 teams gives in, adds in that piece that the Suns have been looking for the whole time. But I don't think the Suns are then going to take that deal and then go back to another team and say, oh, see, look what Houston gave us. You've got to increase your offer. I think right now they have 3 offers from these teams, and whoever jumps first to add a piece to the mix is going to end up with Kevin Durant.
This 9-game stretch for the Diamondbacks will be the most important of their season.
Yes, buy. I believe this team needs to win a certain number of games during this stretch. Not because I need their record to look a certain way, not because they need to gain a certain amount of distance in the NL wildcard race. These are 3 teams where you are supposed to look like the dominant, better baseball team. And if you open the door to look like, I'll give 2 examples, the way the Yankees have looked over the last week or the way the Mets have looked over the past week, and you do that against these 3 teams where you struggle offensively and you don't win, and a 9-game stretch ends up being a 4-5 record, or you go 3-6, I'm sorry, at that point, I'm going to be done believing in you as a wild card team. You can go 3-6 and you can stay just 3 games back of the final spot. I am not going to believe that you have that run in you. This is that run right now. Starting tonight in Colorado, this 9-game stretch is the run. We're going to talk about this a little bit more at the top of the hour. But yes, this team needs to go on a run here. This is the most important stretch of the season.
The D-backs will have at least 3 All-Stars.
Ketel Marte is right now leading, second baseman. Corbin Carroll is in as one of the 6 outfielders. So you're asking me to find another Diamondback. And that Diamondback in your minds is probably Eugenio Suarez.
I actually was thinking Merrill Kelly.
So Merrill Kelly or Eugenio Suarez is one of them an all-star.
You could also, and I know this sounds crazy.
No, Shelby Miller is not an all-star. Shelby Miller is not an all-star. Not happening.
Just wanted to throw that out
I know,
there.
a tier 2 reliever. Not happening. Not an all-star. But tier 1 relievers go to the all-star game. Tier 2 relievers, they don't get invites. Merrill Kelly or Eugenio Suarez. I mean, Eugenio's having such a great start to this season. He has been absolutely awesome for them. 20 home runs already. He's got 60-plus RBIs. I mean, he has just been excellent. Do I think Do I think the Diamondbacks get one more All-Star? I do. I think one of those two gets in. So I'll buy this one as well.
3 is a decent amount of All-Stars. If you get 3 guys in, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you should be better than a 500 baseball team if you have 3 All-Stars. Yes.
Yes. The Dodgers and Padres are slowly becoming one of baseball and sports' best rivalries.
I don't think there's anything slow about it after what's happened over the last couple of nights. The benches cleared again last night. You had the 2 managers of the 2 squads going at it. Dave Roberts looking like he was ready to fight. Mike Schilt of the Padres, he looked like he was ready to go. They were ready to throw down.
Those games have become fun. I mean, feels like now they've played them in the playoffs, 3 of the last 4 years.
It's a division rival as well.
It's a division rival. They seem to really hate each other.
Well, and let's be honest, there are characters on
both teams,
on both sides. You have on the Padres, you have Machado and Tatis, and on the Dodgers side, I wouldn't classify him as a character, but just the presence of Shohei Ohtani changes the equation a little bit. You have the premier star of the game involved. He gets hit last night in the bottom of the 9th, and just all bets are off at that point. He tried to calm things down, but Tatis gets hit earlier in the inning. It's just a powder keg right now. These 2 teams are ready to go at each other.
And I don't know if it's their current makeups or what, but I just get way more excited to watch Dodgers Padres, and I know something's coming, than I do for Yankees Red Sox right now. Like, I know the early 2000s Yankees Red Sox games were awesome and brawls and everything like that, but I don't know. Yankees Red Sox has kind of lost its luster to me. Doesn't hit as hard as it used to.
It shouldn't hit as hard as it's not. It's the 2 teams have not been good enough at the same time. Like right now, Padres, Dodgers, these teams are constantly battling with one another in the NOS, constantly battling one another in the playoffs. So, yeah, you expect emotions to boil over.
Any chance the D-backs could get in that rivalry with those 2 teams?
So, if the Diamondbacks, and this is no offense to the Diamondbacks, but if the Diamondbacks tried to get involved in this right now, it's like the fight that goes on at school and just the random person who just walks up and tries to get involved. Like, what are you doing here, man? This doesn't involve you. This isn't about you. It's like the 2 seniors in high school are fighting. The freshman just comes over to get involved. Like, you don't belong here, man. The Diamondbacks right now don't belong as a part of that scuffle. They don't belong. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll play well enough to be involved. But right now, the Giants have a way better say in getting involved in the fight.
And I feel like they're the historical rival with the Dodgers. Staying in baseball, Cal Raleigh is having one of the best seasons by a catcher we have ever seen. He just went deep in today's game. They're playing at Wrigley during midday. He has tied Johnny Bench for most home runs by a catcher before the All-Star break with 28.
I mean, he's going to lose the MVP because Aaron Judge is just Aaron Judge. But this is one of the best catching seasons offensively that we have seen in a really long time. I mean, he is unbelievably good while also being a great catcher. I mean, it is insane. He's on pace for 60 home runs at this point still, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what the math is on that. It's in and around that number. I mean, he's on pace. He's 28 now. They've played 75 games, so I think it's probably 58 homers.
I mean, he is
just basic math there.
He is great. He has been absolutely fantastic. He's been great for them. Yeah, I mean, he's a great story. My AL MVP, Cal Raleigh.
Makes it fun that he's a switch hitter, 1.
Yeah.
And 2, has the best nickname in all of sports.
Big Dumper?
The Big Dumper.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, you get a catcher who's that good, and they call him the Big Dumper.
And I think the cool thing about him is he's embracing all of it, right? I mean, he's just having fun and just playing baseball, and the Mariners are having a decent season. And so, yeah, I mean, baseball provides these types of stories every once in a while, and this is a great one. And he'll be in the All-Star game as the catcher for the American League, and he'll get that recognition. And maybe somehow he'll get some votes from people who don't want to vote for Aaron Judge again for the MVP, but
he'll have to get some just because he's catcher.
My AL MVP, Cal Raleigh. Hour number 1 of the program in the books. Appreciate all of you joining us here on the Friday edition of the program. We'll start hour number 2, diving back into the Diamondbacks, a 9-game stretch starting in Colorado tonight. How many games do the Diamondbacks need to win? That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Volunteering creates positive change. You can help people in your community facing adversity, offering them hope and a path to a better future. You will transform lives, find fulfillment, and discover a sense of purpose. Join the Army behind the Salvation Army, dedicated to meeting human needs without discrimination. Discover how at salvationarmysouthwest.org. Volunteers don't necessarily have the time, they simply have the heart. Sponsored by the Salvation Army Southwest Division.
Brian Adams, Roll with the Punches Tour 2025. A night full of hits, live at PHX Arena, Saturday, November 15th. With special guest Pat Benatar and Neil Giraldo. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Summer Playfest has arrived at Harris Auction Casino. This summer, win your share of $600,000 in prizes with Caesars Rewards. Plus, join us as live bands light up the stage all season long. Then stay and play for less with our buy one, get one half off hotel rates. So stay, play, and get rewarded all summer during Summer Playfest. Only at Harris Auction Casino. Play for all. You must be 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700 or 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Visit the Caesars Rewards Center for details.
One study found that half of all clients are unhappy with their lawyer. The number one complaint, a total lack of communication.
That's why we survey our clients and know over 97% are happy. Do your research. Call the husband and wife law team first.
At Shane Company, we love a spring engagement, but you might be wondering, how do I find the perfect engagement ring? As a trusted family jeweler since 1929, we get asked this a lot. We have a wide selection of ring settings, like vintage designs with romantic details, floral settings inspired by nature, and classic styles with clean lines and sleek metals. Dreaming of the most beautiful diamond you've ever seen? At Shane Company, we handpick only the sparkliest center stones in all shapes and sizes, from oval to round to marquise and more. We have gorgeous natural and lab-grown diamonds at competitive prices, in-store, ready to compare side by side. Drawn to certain colors? We're known for our rainbow of vivid natural sapphires, including shades of blue, straight out of a fairy tale, handpicked by our owner, Tom Shane. At Shane Company, we have the best free lifetime warranty that includes the center stone, plus resizing, repairs, and cleanings for life. Visit us at shaneco.com or in store. No appointment necessary. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Back here on the lunch break, hour number 2 of this Friday edition. We move 1 hour close to the weekend. Producer Evan on the other side of the glass taking your phone calls today, 480-864-1060. Got any big weekend plans there, Producer Evan?
I'm going to play some golf this weekend.
Okay.
Haven't found a course or a tee time, so if anybody's got some recommendations, leave them in the YouTube chat.
Are you somebody who, when it's this hot out, you like to get that first early tee time, right as the sun is coming up? Boom, I'll be out there.
No, not really a morning guy. 8:30 is a good tee time for me. So not terribly early. I'm done by 12:30. I can work on my tan.
Yeah.
You just got to stay hydrated.
Yeah, you can work on your tan. It's going to be 135 degrees at 12 o'clock.
Oh, my God. Yesterday I was getting out of here, and my thermometer on my car, any guess on what it said?
It probably said 140.
It said 119. That's the hottest I've ever seen.
You parked underneath one of the overhangs. Okay. Yeah, I sometimes can get in my car at the end of the day, and it'll be up over 100.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever seen 119. Maybe I have. All right, so you're playing a little golf this weekend. I will not be joining you at the 8:30 tee time. I'm an early guy. I have no problem that alarm on the weekend going off at 4 a.m.
You're a morning guy in general.
I mean, in a past life, I did morning radio for 4 hours up at 6 a.m. So yeah, show started at 6 a.m. So you're up at 4. So I'm a morning person. As it is on the weekend, I wake up early. Now, this is an interesting. It's funny that you bring this up because you're playing golf this weekend. I have an interesting thing going on tomorrow night. My daughter's got a softball tournament over the weekend. We're playing later in the day. It's called Midnight Madness.
Oh, that's fun.
So our first game tomorrow is at 5:30, and we play at 7:30. Our last game
is at midnight.
Starts at 11 o'clock.
Oh my God!
And if we win, if after our 3 games we win, we have to play the championship game 1 a.m. I'm just going to leave that silence in there. Yes, the last game will start Sunday morning at 1 a.m.
Where are they playing this?
We're playing in Tempe.
I don't know if that's fun, or I think it's once a year. It's fun.
You say that. We're doing it again in like a couple of weeks.
Oh,
there's another one that we're doing.
The other thing, have you been over to, I think they've changed the names. It used to be Rolling Hills. Now it's Grass Clippings.
Grass Clippings. That is where the ASU Baseball Coaches
Show is.
Yes.
I haven't been over there yet.
Well, night golf.
Because they have night golf, though. I've heard the course has been since they've new owners. It's been great.
I've heard great things from everybody over there, including the ASU Baseball Coaches Show that is over there throughout the course of the baseball season. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see how tomorrow night's going to go.
Yeah, that's really interesting. How do you prepare for a 1 a.m. game? Do you sleep late?
So we had a couple of scrimmages a couple of weeks ago, and one of the scrimmages started because it's summertime for everybody. One of the scrimmages started at like 8:30, 8:45, and we weren't done till like almost 10 o'clock with the scrimmage. It's kind of like a prep.
I guess it makes sense because my thought was like, how do you do that? You just ruin the kids' whole week, but then it's the summer.
It is summer. There's no school right now, so school starts a couple weeks, end of the month, end of next month. So, yeah, I will report back on Monday on how it went. I just don't know what to do. Like tonight, we don't have anything, so I'll be watching the Diamondbacks play the Rockies, and we'll be watching a bunch of baseball. Tomorrow, I don't really want to do a whole bunch of running around when I have to stay up as late as I do. Like I legitimately want to just like
the afternoon coffee's big for you tomorrow, right? And you don't even do coffee,
right? I'm going to need to do something in the afternoon to prepare myself for tomorrow night. The Diamondbacks have to prepare for a 3-game series starting tonight with the Colorado Rockies. Their next 9 games, potentially, we answered this question in Buy or Sell, the most important 9 games of the season. And so how many games does this team have to win? And I think there is a specific number. I think there is a number that this team has to hit because anything less than this opens the door for us to question whether or not this team is ever going to be able to go on the run to be in this. Right now, as things stand, you've got a baseball team that is sitting, 500 right now in the standings. They are 37-37 after salvaging something yesterday in the last game against the Toronto Blue Jays. They were 2.5 games back when they finished up play yesterday. So either 2.5 or 3 games back of a wild card spot going into this weekend. This team needs to go at least 6-3 during this 9-game stretch. Bare minimum.
That's generous.
Anything less than that. I was originally at 7-2. I gave them a free mulligan. 6-3 is the bar because 6-3 probably means you won all 3 series. Probably means you took 2 out of 3. There's some scenarios where you sweep 2 of the series and then you get swept in another series. But 6-3 means you won all 3 series and you did enough to show to all of us that you've got that fight left in you. That right now, as you sit here at 37-37, as you sit here doing the math, 3 games back of a wild card spot, 6-3 paints a picture of you firmly being above 500. I would assume, depending on how the Brewers, Cardinals, and Padres all play, you're looking at a team that probably will have gained ground in the standings and maybe pole vaulted one or a couple of the teams that are directly in front of them. And that can give us hope going into July, going into the trade deadline, that it is worth buying. You go 5-4, you go below 500 in this stretch, folks, the season is over. It's done. If you can't handle your business with your season on the line against the Rockies, against the White Sox, against the Marlins, 3 of the worst teams in Major League Baseball, if you can't feast during this schedule, why should we have a conversation about this team being buyers? Why should we have a conversation about this team chasing down 4 other teams? If they can't get past and do it impressively, the Rockies, Marlins, and White Sox, how are they going to pass the Brewers, Cardinals, Padres, Braves, Phillies, and or Mets? How are they going to pass all of those teams and get a playoff spot if they can't get past the Rockies, who, by the way, there's a game between the Rockies already on the meltdown meter. They already have games on the meltdown meter against teams that they should have beaten. There's a Pittsburgh game on there as well. There are no more moral victories. There are no more, they went 5-4 and they won a couple of series. No. You have to win all 3 series. You have to win at least 6 games. And I would argue that there needs to be multiple sweeps in here. You have to make a statement in these 9 games. You have to answer the call. We have asked over and over and over again, go on that run. Mike Hazen has shouted it from the mountaintops. This team will be a buyer if they are in a position to do so. They put themselves in a position to do so by winning these 9 games. How am I going to come in here at the end of this 9-game stretch? Let's play out a scenario here. Let's say they lose this series over the weekend to the Rockies. How am I supposed to come in here on Monday and genuinely look into this camera, speak into this microphone, and tell you that the Diamondbacks should be buyers at the deadline? How can I do that? I should be having a conversation about trading Eugenio Suarez and trading Merrill Kelly and trading Zac Gallen and trading Shelby Miller and Josh Naylor and all the other pieces that are 1-year rentals for everybody. That should be the conversation on Monday if they do not win this series against Colorado. It should not be this, let's just wait another week or 2 to see if they can figure it out. No. We are 70-plus games into the season. Tonight is game number 75. You either have it or you don't. You're either going to force the issue or you're not. The injuries are either too much or you're able to overcome them. It's one or the other. And that's not to say that it's all their fault if they end up being sellers. They had a lot of injuries go against them. The meltdown meter, they had a bunch of games that they gave away. But it's just going to be the reality of the situation. The reality is you don't win enough games in this 9-game stretch. It's not worth wasting the airtime and our breaths talking about what does this team need to do to get back in the race. Do it now or it's not going to happen.
You, I think, are being generous with them. 6-3. You need to be 7-2. You need to sweep and you need to win both other series. You need to be 7-2. You haven't taken advantage of your series with the Rockies. You lost the series to the Pirates. You've lost 2 series to the Nationals. Where does it end? Where do you make up these games on the schedule? 6-3 is, if you win all 3 series, okay, you're still alive. You want to take advantage, you want to be buyers at the deadline, you need to show me you can go 7-2. You need to show me you can go out to Colorado. And you might give up 12. Are they going to play another 14-12 game? Probably.
That's Coors Field.
But be on the winning side of it. And maybe you don't sweep in Colorado, but then you need to sweep one of the other 2 series, and you can't lose one of these series because then you need to have a serious internal look in. What kind of baseball team are we? Why are we not taking advantage of the weaker teams we play on our schedule? And then you need to start having the conversation, are we one of the weaker teams in the National League? And then how do you look yourself in the mirror and say, we're buyers at the deadline?
Can I put you on the spot here?
Yeah.
Do you have the MLB standings handy?
I don't, but I'll pull them up real quick.
Thank you. Because this is why this 9-game stretch is important. This is the reason why I'm at 6-3. They have to just win all 3 series. Producer Evan is at 7-2 in this stretch. Why we think they have to make as much ground up during this stretch against these 3 softer, weaker opponents. Because after that 9-game stretch, they start with a 4-game series in San Francisco. Last time I checked, that's currently a playoff team. They've got one of those 3 wild card spots, don't they?
They do. And they're currently 4.5 games back of the Giants.
Then after that, it's a 3-game series with Kansas City. Where's Kansas City in the standings over there in the American League?
Kansas City is just out of the playoff picture. They're about a game and a half back of the wild card spot. Wow, the American League, we don't look at it enough because we're National League guys. Crowded.
Kansas City, above 500 as a team?
No, 1 game below.
Okay, 1 game below. After that, a 4-game series in San Diego. San Diego, currently a playoff team?
Currently a playoff team and above 500, 3 games back behind them in the standings.
And then you finish the first half of the year with 3 in LA to take on the Angels. Where are the Angels currently sitting right now?
The Angels are 2 games back in the American League wild card, 2 games under 500.
You, after this 9-game stretch, play 4 straight series against teams that are either in a playoff spot or are closer to a playoff spot than you currently are right now. You're 3 games out of a playoff spot. The Royals and the Angels are both closer to a playoff spot than you are. The Giants and Padres are division rivals who are currently holding playoff spots. You understand now why this 9-game stretch is so important, because you're not going to have a 9-game stretch like that right after it.
And do you know what's even more glaring than being 3 games back in the wild card at this point?
Is the 4 teams in front of them?
Is the 4 teams in front of them.
You have to hop so many teams.
You Cincinnati, St. Louis, Milwaukee, San Diego, San Francisco, Philadelphia, or New York, whichever one is going to be the wild card.
And you know how you hop those teams? You go 8-1 in a stretch like this while they go 5-5. You hop in front of them. You make it easier on yourself coming out of that when you have a 4-game series with San Francisco. That's why this stretch is so important. It's going to get you above 500. It allows you to hop some of the teams that you have to hop while you have a softer, weaker part of your schedule. And it does one thing we haven't even discussed yet. Even though they're 3 bad teams, it can be the confidence boost. It can be the energy that this team requires right now.
That's the arguably more important than catching on the standings is they just need something to light a fire. And I thought that they had kind of lit going into Toronto. And once you lose that one on Tuesday night on the blown save by Shelby Miller, who, again, trying not to get on Shelby because he's been their best reliever this year.
He's our best reliever in the tier list we made now, number 1.
But that's a gut-wrenching loss because you got it to the spot that you thought you were comfortable. You lose that one. You come out the next night and the bullpen blows it up and you get shelled in what's a final. And then you come back and you salvage a series in Toronto. But if you're able to go on a little winning streak here or 8 of 9, 7 of 9, doesn't that spark something?
It sparks something in the team. It sparks something in the standings, and it sparks something in the front office to maybe be a little more proactive and make a move sooner rather than later.
They're 75 games in. Let me tell you this. They go 6-3. I tell you, they're 3 games above 500 at the midway mark.
Mm-hmm.
They go 7-2. You're 5 games above 500 at the midway mark.
With all of the injuries that have gone against them, you can start to paint this picture of a team worth investing into. You can look at it glass half full. That's what this stretch is about. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the show. You can also join us over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream, where Matthew asks a very important question. He asks me if I am rooting for my daughter to hit the 1 a.m. game, or am I secretly rooting for an early exit? There's no secretly rooting at all. I want to play in that 1 a.m. game. I want it, okay? I used to coach her before she joined the team that she's on now, and so I've got those competitive juices as a former coach where I want to win every game we play. I want to win every game. I want our name in Sharpie in the 1 a.m. game. Not pen, not pencil. You put it in Sharpie. I'll see you there at 1 a.m. I want in that game bad. No questions about it. I'll need some caffeine. I'll be a little tired, but no, I'm not hoping that after the 11 a.m. game they're done. No, I want in that 1 a.m. game.
We need social content of you at the 1 a.m. game.
If we are at the 1 a.m. game, I will do my best to use my phone and record something that we can put out on the social media channels. If we're at the 1 a.m. game, I'll do something. But no, I am not secretly rooting. This is a great team. No, we are rooting for the girls. We are rooting for them to win over the weekend and play into Sunday morning, the wee hours of Sunday morning. If I'm tired the next day, if I'm tired Sunday morning and there's a championship that the team won, worth it. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the show. When we come back, Kevin Durant watch continues. No news so far, but I have a question. What do the Suns need to accomplish in this Kevin Durant trade? The answer may surprise you. That's next, the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060.
James Out West, your home for sports down here in the desert. Join James and Pat the Stat Guy as they recap the weekend and dive deep into the numbers for the NFL, NBA, college sports, and more.
That's 5 seasons of 1,200 yards.
Player stats, team numbers, and contracts are just the start of the discussion for James and Pat.
He started 815 career games. He threw 749 complete games.
There's no hiding when it comes to stats. It's James Out West, every Monday night from 6 to 7 p.m. right here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
Jaw-dropping stunts, high-flying tricks, heart-pounding excitement. Nitro Circus is back. The all-new off-the-rails tour. Gravity-defying thrill seekers and world-class daredevils at the top of their game. FMX, BMX, skate, scooter, and everything in between. Experience all new competitions that pit the best against the best in never-been-done showdowns. Nitro Circus. Friday, December 5th. Desert Diamond Arena. Join the action at Ticketmaster.com.
Fulton Homes is bringing legendary Fulton quality back to the West Valley. Explore 4 exceptional West Valley locations with more standard features and thousands of ways to personalize your home. Find out why people buy Fulton Homes over and over again. Fulton Homes, you're proud to own, we're proud to build.
In Las Vegas, live music doesn't just start, it hits different. The biggest names in music will be taking the stage. Beyonce, Shakira, New Kids on the Block, Pitbull, Lionel Richie, Kenny Chesney, Motley Crue, Janet Jackson, Keisha Cole, Brad Paisley, Kelly Clarkson, The Weeknd, live in Vegas. Go to visitlasvegas.com to see the full summer lineup.
The Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event is going on now at Mark Kia in Scottsdale.
Right now, you can receive up to $500 bonus cash on some of our most popular models.
The name to remember, Mark Kia. Mark Kia. Go to markkia.com for full details.
If you played pickleball in regular sneakers, you know you can pay the price. They don't cut it. And Todd found this out the hard way. We have this great sponsor, Tyrell. They make the best pickleball shoes. So one day Todd is playing pickleball and he forgot his Tyrell pickleball shoes. Well, you know what happened? He got hurt. He was playing in some fancy different shoes that aren't meant for pickleball, and he learned a lesson. Tyrell has everything you need to keep your feet cool. They're tough. They're lightweight. They're so solid on your feet, and you're going to wear and tear on the court, and they're ready to go. Every detail is built to help you play better. Tyrell pickleball shoes. If you want to play longer, feel better, and stop sliding around in those old sneakers, go to TyrellPickleball.com. You can look like a pro. You can play like a pro. It's Tyrell Pickleball Shoes. You spell it Tyrol. Tyrell Pickleball Shoes, the best pickleball shoes, purpose-built for pickleball.
Attention all clones. The Jim Rome Show is here for you every day here on KDUS AM 1060.
Lots to get done. Welcome to the program.
Listen in as Rome dives into the biggest sports headlines of the day. From From final scores, player contracts and trades, team prospects, and even a spicy take or two. The Jim Rome Show, 1 to 4 p.m. every weekday here on KDUS AM 1060.
That's the trick.
Online at KDUS1060.com and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, KDUS AM 1060, Chris Schubert with you. Appreciate you all joining us here today on a Friday. We did it in hour number 1. We'll do it again here in hour number 2. Producer Evan thinks that the Diamondbacks need to go 7-2 in this next 9-game stretch. So how about this? Caller number 7, 480-864-1060. We're going to hook you up with the gift card. $50 gift card to Von Hansen's. You want to break out the grill this weekend? Von Hansen's got you covered. Meats and spirits, you name it, they've got it. Dry rubs, premium meats. You want to get the grill out this weekend? You want to be the grill master like I've been all week that I will be again tonight? You're going to want to go to Von Hansen's. We've got you. Caller number 7. We'll keep producer Evan busy back there. 480-864-1060. We will hook you up. In the meantime, we are all on KD watch as we await Kevin Durant to get traded for the Phoenix Suns to finally close this chapter. And I think it's kind of the place I've gotten to. I've been intrigued by a lot of this because it is the first real look into what this new front office is going to look like for the Phoenix Suns. And so I've enjoyed this entire chain of events and learning about what the Suns are trying to do here and how they're going about it. But there is part of me that understands that for the Phoenix Suns to actually enter this new chapter, for this change to actually take place, we just need the Kevin Durant stuff to be done. Then we can start to see a roster in the vision of Brian Gregory and Jordan Ott. We can see what they want to attack in the draft next week, what they want to covet in free agency with whatever cap space they're able to maneuver and have, whatever they're able to do with the aprons, whatever they're able to do with Bradley Beal. We want to see this vision. Well, we can't see that vision until the Kevin Durant trade is done. And so that leads me to what this team actually needs to accomplish. We've talked about what the ideal trade package could look like for Kevin Durant, what we think the Suns should be targeting. We're learning a little bit about what teams have and have not been offering here so far. It boils down to this for me. I want the Phoenix Suns to get a Kevin Durant trade done that gives them something to build around. Whether that's the 10th overall pick or Jabari Smith from Houston, whether that's the number 14 pick or Vassell from San Antonio, whether that's whatever picks Miami's going to offer or Khalil Ware, whatever the case may be, if Toronto wants to get involved and offer the number 9 pick, I just want that one asset to where this front office, this coaching staff, this new regime can go to work. And we can see this vision get implemented. That's what I want to see from a Kevin Durant trade. I want to see them show off what they're able to do as a front office, give us that first true look into how Brian Gregory is going to be as a GM, and then get to work. Get to work on building this roster. Get to work on crafting this in the vision of what Jordan Ott wants, on what Brian Gregory wants, what Matt Ishbia wants, because then, and only then, are we going to be able to evaluate, is Matt Ishbia too involved? Is Brian Gregory in over his head? Was Jordan Ott the wrong hire? We can ask those questions. We can have opinions on all of those questions, and I certainly do. I think I've made it very clear where I stand on all 3 of those gentlemen right now, and who of those 3 I have the most confidence in. It just unfortunately happens to be the guy who has the least amount of say right now. But we can't actually have evidence, have data points, have a sample size to answer all of those questions until the KD deal gets done. So get back one piece at least that you can build around. Right now, what you're being offered by Houston, reportedly, Jalen Green and the 10th overall pick, while it's not great, you at least are getting your pick back. You're at least getting the 10th overall pick back. I can see a world where the 10th overall pick becomes something for the Phoenix Suns, something that 6 months ago they weren't going to be able to have, a piece that they weren't going to be able to build around. And so you have young pieces like Ryan Dunn and Oso Ighodaro. You have Devin Booker, who's still going to be here. You would have the 10th pick. You would have the 29th pick. You would start to be able to see the vision. That's what I want out of a Kevin Durant trade. That's what this team needs to accomplish. They need to get their vision leaving the station. Right now, the train that is the Phoenix Suns' future, with Matt Ishbia and Brian Gregory and Jordan Ott as the conductors of this train, we're stuck at the station. We're stuck at the station waiting for the final horn before we can leave. It's not time for us to depart yet. It's not time for the train to move down the tracks and go to the next stop. We can't leave the station. We can't go to the next stop until we disembark all the passengers from the previous stop. And guess what? Kevin Durant, one of those passengers. One of the guys that needs to get off the train so that the train can continue on its destination. This is KD's stop. So this trade has to accomplish two things. It has to start the train to be able to leave the station, and it has to give the Suns something to build around. You're not getting the number 2 overall pick from San Antonio. You're not getting Stephon Castle from San Antonio. That's not happening. But can I get Vassell in the 14th pick? Can I get Smith and the 10th pick from Houston? Can I get Ware and some firsts from Miami? I think all of those things are reasonable expectations at this point. And so if you land any of those packages, you can start to build around something. You have a roadmap. You have a plan that you can then follow. That's where we stand right now. That's why I think everybody is antsy to get this done. It's why I'm starting to get antsy to get this done, because I want to see the next chapter. I want to see the next thing that Brian Gregory is going to do. I want this to be done so I can evaluate him on this, but I also want to start seeing what they're going to do in the draft next week, what free agency moves they want to make. I want to see actually if things are going to be different, if this roster is going to be more gritty, if it's going to have more defensive intensity, if it's going to have those high energy players that were lacking from this squad over the last couple of years. I want to actually see it. And if John is right and Kevin Durant's not going anywhere and Kevin Durant is on this roster at the beginning of the season, then guess what? We are never going to be able to see that. We are never going to see the new vision. So I'm at a point now. You can hold me to this. I don't know if I care as much about the return as I did 6 months ago. I don't know if I care. I said it earlier in the week. You have to get this deal done no matter what. You cannot let this linger. So if my choices are to not do a deal or to get a deal where the return isn't great, give me a return that isn't great, because then I can get to my destination. You can't get to your destination if KD is still on this roster. Am I wrong for thinking that? Am I wrong for, after all of the months since February, all of the shows since February, saying that the Suns can get 2 draft picks and they can get a starter and a young player with some potential, and talking about how this is the most important move that this organization is going to make? Is it hypocritical of me to come to the place where I just want this done?
No, it is dragged on. They haven't gotten the offers they want. They understand they need him gone if they want change. It's been an offseason of a brand new GM who you don't trust, so you want to see results and what they could get. You want a move under his belt. You want them to move on within the offseason, attack what they can do with Bradley Beal. You want them to get under the second apron. I don't know if the return matters as much as long as they get under the second apron.
I want them to get on with their offseason. I want them to get on with their new
alignment.
I want them to get on with creating the change that was promised. And right now, that change is being held up, not his fault, but it's being held up by Kevin Durant. So until Kevin Durant is no longer on this roster, it's hard to see the change coming. It's hard to start to understand what this is going to look like. So, yes, 6 months ago, I said most important move that this team's going to make They have to get this right. This is what kickstarts their next chapter, and all of that remains true. This is important. This does kickstart their next chapter. This does kickstart the next era of Phoenix Suns basketball. But you can't kickstart the next era of Phoenix Suns basketball if you don't make the trade. So make the trade. Right now, with the information that we have, with what is in front of us right now, I don't think this is because Brian Gregory is a first-time general manager. I think this is because everybody is valuing Kevin Durant differently than the Phoenix Suns are valuing Kevin Durant. And that's going to happen sometimes in negotiations. Sometimes your value on a player or a prospect is going to be different than the team on the other end of the phone. Maybe that's because it's a first-time GM and an owner who's being involved. Maybe. I don't actually think that's the case. But get a deal done. 480-864-1060, the phone number for you to join us here today on the show. When we come back, it's a very pivotal start tonight for the Arizona Diamondbacks as they start their 3-game series with the Colorado Rockies. How pivotal is it? And what's the roadmap to success? We'll tell you next. It's the lunch break, KDUS, AM 1060.
Ready to tackle each morning with the best sports information coming at you?
I'm going to take a logical approach.
Get that weekday mornings on KDUS AM 1060 from 6 to 9 a.m. with the Dan Patrick Show. Dan Patrick, the Danettes, sports icons, sports legends, celebrities, poll questions. The Dan Patrick Show has it all.
It's a crapshoot.
Be sure to lock your dials to AM 1060 or 100.7 HD2 from 6 to 9 a.m. Mornings just got better.
This story is about us.
These lawyers say they treat clients like family while secretly putting mandatory settlement quotas on their lawyers.
We never set settlement quotas. We measure success by achieving each client's best outcome.
Do your research. Call the husband and wife law team first.
Lincoln Park. From Zero World Tour 2025.
You ready?
Live in Phoenix. Footprint Center, Saturday, September 6th, with special guest Gene Dawson. Get tickets now at livenation.com. For more, visit lincolnpark.com.
Come visit the all-new Wecopa Casino Resort, formerly Fort McDowell Casino. Whether you're visiting for slots, table games, the Valley's favorite bingo hall, golf, or food, our new smoke-free casino resort is the place to be. Enjoy a fine dining experience like no other at Ember, or go for the lively crowd at WKP Sportsbook and Bar. Wecopa offers 2 top 10 golf courses in the state, and the resort with heated pools and cabanas is the perfect place to relax. Come experience Wecopa Casino Resort today. At Wecopa, we have the best of it all.
Welcome to Disneyland.
Get excited to join the Disneyland Resort 70th celebration. Because it's not a celebration without you. With all the decor, the new character outfits, and dazzling shows. Everyone's excited to join. Delight in special 70th experiences, like an all-new World of Color show, the returning favorite Paint the Night Parade, and so much more, only for a limited time. So come join us for this once-in-a-lifetime celebration with a special ticket offer as low as $100 per day with a special 4-day, 1-park-per-day ticket. Total price $400. Valid May 16 through August 14, 2025. Park ticket and reservation required. Visit Disneyland.com/70 ticket offer for details. Offering subject to capacity restrictions and change without notice.
Real Stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state back and forth dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then, 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
The summer splash sale is on at Little Dealer Little Prices. Get RV starting at $4 a day with a $1,000 trade-in bonus, no freight or prep markups, and fast, easy financing. Hurry, these deals won't last. Shop now at littledealer.com. Payment based on 20% down at 8.49% APR for 180 months. Tax, title, and fees not included with approved credit.
Join in on the Sports Zoo on your ride home from work with Dave Rooster Bierstein. Join Rooster as he lays down what's happening around sports and makes it clear what's on his mind.
Oh, my.
Catch the day's craziest stories and some of the latest numbers from the sports books across the valley. The Sports Zoo with Dave Rooster Bierstein.
Yeah, I think that's kind of a wild option.
Weekdays 5 to 6 p.m. on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back here on the lunch break, Chris Schubert with you. You know, there are times throughout the week where I feel like I'm repeating myself. And I think that's the nature of doing this job every single day. Now, don't get me wrong. I love this job. I wouldn't trade it for the world. But 2 hours of radio every single day, and on a week like this week where we're talking about the same topic over and over and over again because we're waiting for something like Kevin Durant to get traded, sometimes I can feel like I am repeating myself. And this next topic is one where I feel like I am repeating myself because I feel like this is a conversation that we have had multiple times already throughout the course of the season. Because it is Zac Gallen on the mound tonight for the Arizona Diamondbacks. And it feels like here we are again, yet another pivotal start for Zac Gallen. Another moment where we're asking Zac Gallen to meet the moment for this team, set the tone for this 9-game stretch in a big way. And yes, conquer your fears of pitching on the road, your struggles of pitching on the road, and go into Coors Field, a tough environment, and give your team a chance to win. But it feels like we are back in a very similar place like we have been over and over and over again this season with Zac Gallen. Can he answer the call? Can he give this team what they need from him to start this stretch, this series off? Because his last 2 times out, 6 2/3 against the Reds, gave up 4 earned runs, 6 1/3 against the Padres, gave up 4 runs, 1 win and 1 loss in those games for the team. But he is a couple of starts away from that excellent start in Atlanta against the Braves, where he went 7 innings and only allowed 1 earned run, 3 runs overall. We're a little bit away from that. We are over 2 weeks away from that start. And I understand how tough the assignment is. I understand going on the road into Colorado, the numbers get a little sideways. It's not easy to go up there and dominate and throw 6 or 7 scoreless innings. And we will adjust our expectations accordingly. But Zac Gallen needs to step up starting tonight. There is a hole, a vacuum that needs to be filled on this team. If we were tiering like we did in hour number 1 with the bullpen, if we were tiering the starters, Zac Gallen firmly in the second tier of starters, should be in the first tier, has all the talent in the world to be in the first tier, but just doesn't put it together consistently enough to be where Merrill Kelly sits in that first tier. Tonight can start to turn that coin. Tonight can be a first step for Zac Gallen because, let's face it, no Corbin Burns. This team needs Zac Gallen. This team needs Zac Gallen to be peak Zac Gallen. They are not going to get back into this. They are not going to make a run in July, in August, in September. We are not going to be talking about key Gallen starts in August and September. It's not going to be Gallen Day where we're celebrating and we're looking forward to his starts. We are not going to get to that place unless he starts tonight, unless he sets the tone and continues what we saw yesterday for this team. Start a winning streak tonight, Zac. Start this 9-game stretch off on a good note, Zac. Be the guy that you were on the road in Atlanta, Zac. Be that dominant guy. Keep the walks down. Keep the pitch count low. Attack the zone. Limit the hard contact. Don't get too cute. That's what the Diamondbacks need right now from Zac Gallen, because the entire complexion of this team changes if Merrill Kelly is doing Merrill Kelly things and Zac Gallen is doing Zac Gallen things and Ryan Nelson looks like the pitcher that he was last night. All of a sudden you get to a place where you have those 3 starters that you need to avoid those long losing streaks, to be able to go on those winning streaks, to be able to start stacking up series wins. And wouldn't you know, the Diamondbacks this weekend have Gallen tonight, they have Kelly tomorrow, and they have Brendan Pfaadt to close out this series. Doesn't this feel like a prime opportunity for a sweep? This is the worst team in baseball, one of the worst teams in baseball, the Colorado Rockies. No excuses. I don't care who's injured. I don't care who's available and not available. I know it doesn't look like Corbin Carroll is going to play tonight. Honestly, truthfully, I don't care. You are good enough with or without Corbin Carroll to beat this Colorado team. You are good enough with or without Corbin Carroll to win this series. You see the numbers that Eugenio Suarez is putting up. You see the numbers that Josh Naylor is putting up. Get the job done. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Get the job done, and it starts with Zac Gallen tonight. But yet here we are once again having another conversation about an important, pivotal, must-win, to use producer Evan's phrase, start for Zac Gallen. It feels like a place that we get to on a pretty regular basis. Feels like every time Zac Gallen's turn comes up in the rotation this year, it's a question of, is this going to be the moment? Is this going to be when the streak starts? Is this going to be where the snowball starts to roll down the hill for Zac?
Because he's given us great starts, both in New York and Atlanta. And then he comes out with another one that's just not up to what we've seen out of Zac Gallen. And so
it's all because of the same thing. It's all because of the lack of command. It's all because he works himself into trouble because he tries to get too cute at times. The walk numbers go up, and then all of a sudden, he's into trouble. He can't get out of the trouble. He has that blow-up inning. Boom, there goes a good start.
And does that come because he's not trusting his stuff, right? He's trying to paint the corners, therefore he's missing. He's not getting as much weak contact, and he's leaving guys on. And so when you're doing that, he's not getting away with his misses anymore.
I have a question for you. I don't expect you to know the answer to this, but I am asking you this question to prove a point. Zac Gallen has had at least 2 walks. He's walked at least 2 batters in all but 2 starts this season. You want to try to guess the 2 starts?
Yeah, I think it's one of the Mets starts, actually. I bet you he did walk 2 when he struck out all the Yankees. So I'll say one of the Mets starts and then in Atlanta.
The Atlanta start where he went 7 innings, allowed the 1 earned run, that was a start in which he only had 1 walk. The other time where he didn't have 2 walks, it was a night in which the only start this season in which he has walked 0 batters. He also struck out 13. It was the second start of the year when he took on the Yankees. It's not a surprise. This isn't rocket science. If he doesn't walk batters, he can be dominant. Every other start, you're seeing 2 walks, 3 walks, 4 walks. He has 3 starts this season, 4 starts this season where he's walked 4 batters. The opener against the Cubs, he walked 4 against the Orioles in a loss in April. He walked 4 in a 14-12 game that they played against the Rockies. Everybody remembers that game pretty well. And he walked 4, I believe, in the start against the Reds. If he walks too many guys, the 4 walks were against the Padres. He only walked 3 against the Reds, excuse me. Limit the walks, you stand a chance to be great. Limit the walks, you look like the dominant version of yourself. Get it done tonight. 480-864-1060 is the phone number for you to join us here today on the program. We've got one more for you before it is the weekend for all of us. I got to take a nap today. I got to start sleeping now for my Midnight Madness over the weekend. So I'm getting out of here, and it's going to be nap time here pretty soon. But before we do that, we got the leftovers. All the stories we didn't get to throughout the course of the program. Producer Evan has them for us. We'll do it on the other side. It's the lunch break. KDUS, AM 1060.
Hey listeners, Vince DeLisio from the Varsity Sports Show. Tune in Saturday morning for another fun summertime event. We'll travel around the country and the world this week as we hear from some of our newest fall interns. Plus, my old friend Campo Verde Athletic Director Max Ragsdale checks in from a family vacation in Laughlin, Nevada. Start your weekend off with a smile with the Varsity Sports Show Saturday morning from 9 to 11 on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
The Offspring. Supercharged worldwide in 25. One unforgettable summer night. The Offspring, live in Phoenix. With special guests Jimmy Eat World and Newfound Glory. Plain Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater August 27th. Get tickets now at livenation.com. 3 great bands, 1 incredible show. Part of the America First Credit Union Concert Series.
The Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event is going on now at Mark Kia, where you can receive up to $500 bonus cash on some of our most popular models.
Right now, you can lease a brand new 2025 Kia Sorento for just $189 a month for 24 months with $39.95 due at signing. That's right, a brand new Kia for under $200 a month.
Go to markkia.com to check out our current selection of inventory not affected by future tariff changes. The names, remember, Mark Kia. Mark Kia, 10,000 miles per year lease. Payment plus tax, title, and license. Offer expires July 7th, 2025.
When my wife and I got married after both graduating law school, we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. Ultima had to give me her gas card just to drive home. We never could have imagined that one day we would have the largest injury firm in the world and $25 billion in money collected and counting. As good Catholics, we had 4 children fast. They all work in the firm today. Our family protecting yours. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. But our greatest gift was years away, grandchildren. Today we have 6 and counting. It's the greatest joy that we have ever experienced. I think about them all day long. Our family promises to protect your family should you need us. Call us. It's easy. Visit forthepeople.com and make sure you hug your grandchildren. God's final gift to us. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio is your hub for everything high school and college sports. Join Vince and friends as they give you the full picture on student athletes and where they're heading. Live interviews with coaches across the valley.
Asking some of the tough questions.
Varsity recaps and in-depth interviews with tomorrow's sports stars. The Varsity Sports Show with Vince D'Alicio. Live every Saturday morning from 9 to 11 a.m. Here on KDUS AM 1060 and on the KDUS 1060 app.
Back to wrap up the show. Great week of shows. Appreciate you tuning in, whether you've been here every day with us or you just pop in every once in a while. We appreciate you nonetheless. We know you have choices, so when you pick us, we love that. We appreciate that very much, and we thank you for joining us here. It is the Friday edition of the show. It's the last segment of the show, so we close up with the leftovers, all the stories that we did not get to throughout the course of the program, and producer Evan has them for us. Take it away, my friend.
I just want to get into this. Just a devastating 2 minutes for the producer of the program here in the booth.
Okay.
I signed up for a football league with my roommate, Flag Football League.
Okay.
So we signed up for the Tuesday night league.
Okay.
And apparently, league's full. So I'm no longer in the league. I'm getting a refund now.
Wait a minute. Wait just 1 second. They took your money. You signed up for the league.
Yes, paid.
They took your money. And then they said, you know what? We don't have a spot. Here's your money back. If you're going to take the money, make sure there's a spot. Now, at least you're getting your money back.
I know, at least I got my money back.
But
But
man.
it's ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
And then they were like, well, do you want to play? At first, they were not going to give me a refund.
Excuse me?
Yes.
You took my money and there's not a spot for me. If I'm not going to play the sport that I'm paying for, give me my money
And
back.
then they were like, do you want to play a different sport? We have softball. I was like, I signed
up for football.
For football, to play flag football.
This is the ultimate. We are going to have some of those tough conversations. If they didn't give you your money back, it was going to be some tough conversations.
I was going to take him to court if I didn't get my money back. I don't know if I could do that. Bang.
You could give it a shot.
Really, really, really sad, though. I thought I was going to tear this league up. People have compared my play style to that of 2013 Peyton Manning.
That's Broncos Peyton Manning, where he stinks and he wins the Super Bowl anyway, right?
No. That's 55 touchdowns.
So that's
Manning.
the year prior when he was good,
Yes.
and they don't win the Super Bowl. The next year where he stinks, 2014 Peyton Manning.
Yes.
You're 2013 Peyton Manning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And listen, I'm all about team success, but I think I would rather have the touchdown record of the league. But okay. Anyway, Pacers. I mean, just crushed the Thunder last night in Game 6. Headed to Game 7 for Oklahoma, headed to Oklahoma City for Game 7.
Yeah, it looks like the get-in price for that is over $1,000 already. It's probably only going to go up the closer we get to game time. I'll raise my hand. I'll be the first person to admit I did not expect them to get to a Game 7. I thought a compromised Halliburton was going to mess everything up for the Pacers, and shame on me for assuming that the Pacers weren't going to have more fight in them than that. And Halliburton gutted it out and played well enough for them to be able to force a Game 7. Now, I think it's a different animal to go on the road into Oklahoma City in a Game 7 and win, but they certainly did their responsibility of making sure Oklahoma City wasn't going to win the title on Indiana's home floor. So credit to them, did not expect it. And it does, I mean, listen, you can say what you want about Halliburton and being compromised in the injury. I did yesterday. You can't rule out the Pacers winning a Game 7 because I didn't think they were going to force a Game 7. It's a Game 7. Anything can happen. All bets are off.
Thunder come back in this one, Thunder come back in this one, all series. And I can't believe we've gotten to 7. So I've been wrong in every game. I don't know what I think. I'm just rooting for a really good game on Sunday.
What you want. You just want a good game. Now, Brian from Chandler is over on the KDUS AM 1060 YouTube live stream. And he is called, now this is the leftovers, but he said the award-winning buy or sell today. I'm assuming he means the leftovers because buy or sell is what we do in the end of hour number 1. And then he said he could ruin everything, and I believe he's talking about you, if he botches the golf update. Now, are we getting a Travelers update?
I didn't have one.
I didn't think you did.
I only give majors.
You're a
picks.
majors only kind of guy. Yeah. I mean, you only give majors picks when you remember to give majors picks.
That's true.
There's other majors.
I'll be honest with you. I'll be on the Open. I love links golf.
Okay. So
I love sitting down watching links golf. I die for it.
So no Travelers update from you today. I wasn't expecting it, but I just wanted to check to make sure in case you wanted to give one that you were giving.
John says I should go on Judge Judy.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring that up. But yeah, if you wanted to sue I'm assuming it was like a Scottsdale league. So if you want to sue the city of Scottsdale and you want to take them to Judge Judy, I mean, good luck. Let me know how that goes for you.
Over my money for flag football league.
Right, over $125?
Not even that. I think it's like $70.
Okay, so you know what? I don't think we should be doing that.
ASU teases the release of new jerseys that will officially be released to the public on July 1st.
There's just so much hype around this program right now, and they're feeding into it with something like this. I think you know where I'm going here.
They have, by the way, I mean, they are crushing it. They have this. They have the golden ticket thing. Have you seen that?
Please be good. Like, please don't have the year that you had last year and do all of this and hype yourself up, and you deserve to be hyped. But don't do all of this and lay an egg next year.
And they're gonna have to adapt and be a different team.
Well, yeah, they don't have Cam Scatterbo anymore.
And I like the guy they got from Army, Kanye Udo.
Yes.
But he's not Cam Scatterbo.
No, Sam Levitt's going to have to step up and be a college quarterback and make plays and do the things that you expect a championship caliber quarterback to do. Just don't lay an egg. You can do all of this. You can tease a jersey announcement. You can be the talk of the town. You can be a big story. Don't go 8-4 next year. Like, just don't do it.
Yeah, you have to win 10 games.
Right, you have to win double-digit games.
Jonathan Taves has signed with the Winnipeg Jets.
What a great story this is. What an awesome story this is. Taves had to leave the league in 2023, was dealing with the effects of long COVID and wasn't sure if he was ever going to play again, dealing with a lot of mental stuff as well, just needed some time away from the game. And now is coming back playing for his hometown team, the Winnipeg Jets, signs a 1-year deal. It's not official until July 1st, but just a great story across the sport of hockey.
And if you're a hockey fan, I mean, just a legend of the game, Jonathan Taves is. I mean, those Blackhawk teams were.
You don't know this. That's my hockey team.
Oh, it is.
So Jonathan Taves has a special place in here with me. So
why are they your hockey team?
I grew up in a household that was a huge Islander household. I wanted to go a different course. I wanted to veer a different direction. That was the team that I picked. And before Patrick Kane, before Jonathan Taves, that was my team.
Way before that.
And then Kane got there and Taves got there and they went on that run and what they did after the lockout, 27 straight games without losing. That team is my childhood. My middle school and high school years is supporting that hockey team and Taves in particular. So this story warmed my heart when I saw it this morning.
Patrick Kane gave me my first real sports heartbreak, other than the Yankees beating the Phillies in 2009.
You're a Flyers fan, so the
Flyers. Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, was it in the net? Was it not in the net?
Trust me, it was in the net. Don't worry.
No, I know. And he's, by the way, big Patrick Kane fan, big Jonathan Taves fan, by the way.
Yeah, very excited for him to go to Winnipeg and play there. And really excited.
Kevin Durant, not traded, but has bought a minority stake in the soccer team PSG.
KD was in the news twice today. He refuted something on Twitter that Boogie Cousins said about the Suns last year, and then this report this morning that he's buying a stake in PSG. Does everybody not understand? That's not the news I want.
Can I just say something?
I want a Kevin Durant trade. I do not want news about him buying a stake in a soccer team or him refuting reports that there were fist fights in the Suns locker room. Can we trade him to Houston, please?
He's a big troll, and he did both of those things just so when people search Kevin Durant today, they saw he was in the news twice, but wasn't for being traded.
Please, Kevin Durant watch, come to an end, please. When we get here on Monday, please, I want to talk about a Kevin Durant trade. Everybody have a great weekend. Jim Rome's coming up next. We'll talk to you on Monday. See ya!
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLI